Hello! As part of our Practice Pointers series, this short video is going to talk to you about the basics of balance, with a focus on the mechanics of balance. Let's start with the definition. Balance is the ability to maintain your center of gravity over your base of support. So what is the center of gravity? Where is it? And does it change? So the center of gravity is the point at which weight is evenly distributed. As you can see in this woman, her weight, body weight or body mass is here, and the center, I would imagine, is somewhere around here. She has that balanced over her support. So where is the center of gravity? In standing, it's just behind the belly button. But the center of gravity or mass of the human body depends on your gender and is just below and behind the belly button for a woman. For a man, it's slightly higher because they carry the bulk of their body mass a little more around the shoulder girdle. And can it change? Yes, so the center of gravity can change with changes in posture, changes in body weight, and changes in the position of the limbs. So you can see in standing here, the center of gravity is where we mentioned, around the belly button. As we begin walking, it moves forward as our body parts come forward over our base. And in reaching, for instance, it's even more forward and even outside of our body as our body posture changes. The center of gravity can also change as we add loads. So you can see in this diagram, the man on the left, with increased weight above his shoulders, his center of gravity has gone up higher in his body. The man in the center, with an added load in his satchel, his center of gravity moves towards that load. And for the woman, she's carrying a load in her arms, her center of gravity moves forward, and you can see also that she's leaning a bit backward to compensate. So what is the base of support? Where is it? And does it change? Our base of support is the area beneath a person that includes every point of contact that the person makes with the supporting surface. So here, for the man in standing, it's both of his feet in contact with the surface and the surface between his feet. Where is it? So points of contact may be body parts or may include things like furniture. In this diagram, with the woman leaning against the wall, the base of support includes all of the area between her feet and her shoulders, including the floor and the wall connecting those parts. So let's talk a little bit about stability. You can see in this woman, she would be in a less stable position. You can see that much of her body mass is fairly high and her base of support is small. In fact, very tiny, just at the point of her toe. So if we are feeling unstable, imagine yourself in an unstable position, let's say walking across ice. What do you do to make yourself feel more stable? We lower our center of gravity and widen our base of support, just as you can see in this downhill racer. So what are we doing when we provide our clients with a gait aid, such as a walker? We are increasing their base of support. Have you ever seen a patient looking like this? What are they doing and why? So we've been talking about they're increasing their base of support. Why would they be doing that? Because they're feeling unstable. What do we ask them to do? We ask them to stand tall and to bring their walker back. So is that a solution for their problem? So their problem is that they are feeling unstable and a little bit fearful. I want you to put yourself in their shoes and imagine yourself in a situation where you're feeling unstable and a little insecure. Let's say you're standing on the edge of a cliff. If I were to tell you the ground is solid, your footing is good, you have nothing to fear, is that helpful? Probably not. And the reason is that fear and instability is not a rational feeling or reaction. So what do we need to do for people? We need to help them feel more stable and more secure. If they're feeling unstable, how can we help them feel more stable? Provide something a little more stable for them, for instance, a walker without wheels, or maybe even a handrail. Have you ever seen a patient looking like this? One of the most common things you will see when your patient is fearful of falling in sitting is for them to lean and push backward. We need to stop and recognize this as a fear reaction. And again, what we need to do when they're fearful and feeling unstable is to provide more stability in the environment. How can we do that? Providing a bedside table in front of them helps them feel a little more stable and secure. And another tip is to provide a good solid piece of furniture in front of them, perhaps a chair, particularly if you want them to work into standing. So let's talk about our limits of stability. Our limits of stability is the area within which we can move over the base of support and remain stable. So I'd like you to get up on your feet and feel your own limits of stability. Without moving your feet, shift your weight in all directions, from side to side, forward and backward, and feel where you have the most movement. What you should feel is that you have a fair degree of movement side to side and forward, not so much backward. Why is that? Because going forward, you can shift your weight forward onto your toes. Side to side, you can shift from one foot to the other. But in the backward direction, there's nothing behind your heels for you to shift your weight to. So that's the least stable direction. So where's the best place where we can stand when we're helping someone with walking? Knowing our limits of stability, we want to stand on their weaker side and a bit behind with support at their back, because this is where they're most likely to be less stable and to fall. So we've been talking about using our hands on a walker or other furniture items to increase our base of support, to increase our stability. But we don't normally rely on our arms to provide our base of support. When we do that, we cannot use our arms for other functions, brushing our teeth, reaching for things, picking things up, carrying things. So one of the things that's really important, and you'll see, is to work on unsupported standing. And we do that a lot. So we work on standing without using our arms for support. Likewise, in walking, we need to lift one foot in order to advance it. So we need to work on the ability to stand on one leg, even for a few moments, so that we can advance the other leg in walking. For this reason, physiotherapists spend quite a bit of time working on standing, and as you can see in this photo, step-ups, where they need to hold their balance over their foot and lift one foot up onto a step. I hope you found this practice pointers on balance and its mechanics helpful. If you have any questions, please contact the physiotherapist on your team.